Good afternoon. This documentation is in regards to the E36 chassis headlights, the depots, which is the Hella or the ZKW versions, not the P36. So I actually have a headlight side pulled out right here. This video documentation is mainly to show you that there's two ways to connect the HID low beam to power it up. Just wanted to rule out whether the concern is a connectivity issue within the internal housing or with the HID component itself. So I'm taking the time to show this for you right now. I understand that the setup that you have is actually US spec, so you have a pigtail harness that you're working from, your high beam plug, your low beam plug, your angel eyes. I understand that your angel eyes work no problem, and then the only concern is with low beam HID. So understand this is just extra wiring and nothing more. So removing this, I'm actually found the low beam pin layout for this one, so it's still going to be the same on your pigtail harness, but showing you what I have in here instead is a halogen H1 bulb plugged in. So I'll show you that the internal wiring for this headlight side is good by showing you bench testing it right now. So applying negative, grounding negative, and also positive to the low beam pin, you'll see the low beam lights up. So that being said, the internal wiring within this headlight is good because it powers the halogen bulb up with no issues. At this point, I understand that you're saying that the low beam is still not working. What I would like to see, if you are able to do, is to bypass the pigtail harness. So you're not plugging your low beam within this connector. Instead, you will be plugging directly to your HID ballast. I have here a 9006 connector, which mimics your factory connector that you have to power the low beam. So I'll use this as an example. So the 9006 connector, I understand it can connect to your low beam, no problems. However, instead of connecting from the pigtail harness, please go ahead and unplug the 9006 connector that's already plugging in on your HID. Just simply unplug it from the HID bulb, unplug this connector to actually use your factory low beam connector from your car and directly plug into this. Please keep in mind that the ballasts are polarity sensitive, so be sure to have the positive on the inner side and grounding negative wire on the outer side. So you can see this red and black wire. So I'll keep the positive on the inner side closest to this wire and plug it right in. Once plugged in, I'm going to mimic this as your factory connector to supply power from here to the HID ballast to show you that you can bypass all the pigtail harness from the low beam connector to directly connect your main factory connector to the ballast itself. So again, I'm bench testing the ballast directly to show you that this is possible. Alright, got the ground in. So you want to bring your attention to the HID bulb right here, which I'm going to be shortly powering it up. So you see pretty much we bypassed the pigtails harness low beam and directly connecting the 9006 factory connector to the ballast to actually light your HID bulb up. So just wondering if you have the time, if you're able to do this brief troubleshoot to confirm that the HID components are all good, and whether if you're able to bypass your concerns and directly power the HID ballast to the low beam HID to get your low beam working again. Again, this concludes the documentation. Thank you so much for your time.